As a child, at my grandparents' house, I had a little bell that I would ring if I wanted anything.
Lee,
Why did you have a bell?
Well, there was a bell. It was a pre-existent bell. There was a bell in the house, and I liked it.
Only at the grandparents' house?
Yes.
Not at home?
Because your
No.
parents
No.
didn't play that shit.
At home, you just sort of went... And... So how old were you?
About 6.
What were the things you wanted when you rang the bell?
More chips. A glass of orange squash. Sense of purpose in life.
Was it both grandmother and grandfather that would come and wait on you hand and foot, or was it just one or the other?
I was a small child. I was indulged to a certain extent, but then also to a certain extent can you actually just stop ringing your bell now? OK.
so, Lee's team, what do you think?
The parents could easily have had a bell, and the little brat could have just...
I liked the bell. I liked ringing the bell.
He liked ringing the bell. Is it true or is it a lie?
Reginald, delicious hunter.
Well, sausage roll, I believe that there's a simplicity to the story that rings true.
I'll go with that.
Go on, then. We'll say that that's true.
You're saying it's true. David, is it true or is it a lie?
Well, it is, in fact, true.
Yes, it's true. As a child, David's grandparents' house did have a little bell that he would ring if he wanted anything. Ding-a-ling. Could I have a posher upbringing, please?
That's a remarkable impression, because it has the advantage of also sounding quite a lot like Ken Livingstone.
I thought that as I did it. You're absolutely right. As I did it, I thought, this isn't the best David Mitchell I've ever done.
Right.
If it was going to be one of the good David Mitchells, it'd be a bit more like this. I don't know why anybody would think I would do that. Why would they think that? And I'll tell you another thing. It's David.
As a child, I used to play board games against a bucket with a face painted on it. I called this bucket Stephen Tatlock.
Wow, what games did you play?
Monopoly. I played a game called Diplomacy. And...
Even then, you were thinking of becoming a politician.
Yeah. Even then. I'm not a politician.
Why Stephen Tatlock?
Well, it was basically named after a friend of mine. Who was...
Why did you play with Stephen Tatlock? He had no hands.
Stephen Tatlock wasn't always there. But after I painted the face on the bucket, he was.
Did he paint the face on the bucket?
I think my dad painted the face.
Your dad was involved in this sad story? You've decided you haven't got any friends, but lucky day for you is this is Stephen Tatlock.
What can I say? My father saw me talking to a bucket and decided to accept that side of my nature.
Did your father invent Henry Hoovers afterwards?
And this is your girlfriend.
So if you were playing Monopoly, you'd have your go, and then you'd run round and pretend to be Stephen, would you?
I wouldn't pretend to be Stephen, but I found I had to roll for Stephen. And Stephen would need help moving his...
Did Stephen ever win?
Yes.
What do you think, Lee? Is he telling the truth?
What do you think?
I don't know many people who have an imaginary friend with a surname.
He's one of the few. Did you call him Stephen Tatlock or Stephen? Did you say, it's your turn, Stephen Tatlock? You must do it quickly, or otherwise you'll go the way of the other buckets.
Usually I'd call him Stephen.
Oh, you were quite friendly then.
Yeah.
Did Stephen Tatlock know there was an imposter?
Imposter.
I call it the imposter.
No, I never mentioned Stephen Tatlock to Stephen Tatlock.
Did you ever mention the real Stephen Tatlock to the bucket?
I think probably not. No, I think that would
They were blissfully unaware of
We've
each
sort
other's
of been
presence.
playing with levels of reality. I don't want you to think that I felt I was in any way being unfaithful to the real
Oh,
Stephen.
yeah. I'm not picturing
Or
this as
vice
some sort of
versa.
romantic film. I can't imagine the real Stephen Tatlock walking in on the game and you go, Stephen! Stephen, I can explain!
So what do you think then, Lee? Time for a guess. Truth or lie?
I think it's true.
You think it's true?
Don't know why.
Well, look at David. We know why. What do you think, Holly?
I think, I don't think it's true.
I might ask my friend, Boris Dickey. What do you think, Boris Dickey? Oh, Boris Dickey says no. It's a lie.
So you're saying it's a lie?
Yes.
You and Boris say it's a lie. OK,
Boris
David.
Dickey!
Boris Dickey. David, truth or lie?
It is, in fact, a lie.
Yes, it was a lie. When David was a child, he didn't play board games against a bucket that he called Stephen Tatlock.
OK. As a child, I had a special way of communicating with Captain Kirk during Star Trek episodes.
True. On we go.
What do you reckon?
And that special way was?
I had two ways of communicating with Captain Kirk. One was with a little calculator that, when you it had a sort of leatherette case, and when you flipped it open, it was, to my child's eyes, uncannily identical to a Star Trek communicator of the old sort. We're talking pre-nipple punch.
You do this, David.
I know it's more sort of.
Yeah, no. It would open with, it would go, and then it would go, and you press the button, Kirk to win a prize, and it would go.
Oh yes, that's the secondary noise.
Can I ask this question?
Did I
Did you
actually
two ever have girlfriends?
Yeah.
No, I didn't, in all honesty. As a child, did you?
No.
No, no. It was a great noise, wasn't it?
Yeah. Very comforting.
It was, yeah.
That kept me company. Who needs people?
Exactly.
And what was the second way?
The second way was I would sort of converse a bit with the characters on the screen while it was happening. So join in, slip in. Oh, that's good thoughts, Captain Kirk, etc. You know. Don't interrupt me, Spock. I'm talking.
Do you know the characters of the famous Star Trek?
Yeah.
There's
Uhuru, what did she call
Uhuru.
Uhuru, yeah.
Sulu.
Sulu.
Chekhov.
Bones.
Bones, yes.
McCoy, actually, properly.
Rob, have you ever refereed anything before? You'd make a terrible referee at football. Why don't you try kicking it in the top like that?
Right, what are you going to say then, Lee? What do you think?
It's the bit that rings most true actually about all of this was when he went. I flipped it open because I remember those calculators. They used to have a little thing.
There's no doubt. Yeah.
And did you do the old thing when it spells boobies when you turn it upside down? You didn't know what they were. OK, so.
Is David telling the truth, Lee? What do you reckon?
Right, OK. Do we believe David, as a small child, would be so lonely and sad that he would have to use his calculator?
Yes, we do, yeah.
You're saying it's true?
We'll say it's true.
You sure? OK. David, is it true or is it a lie?
I prefer the word imaginative to lonely, but yes, it's true.
Yes, it's true. As a child, David did have a special way of communicating with Captain Kirk during Star Trek episodes. David particularly liked Leonard Nimoy. That odd life form obsessed with logic would tune in each week to watch Mr. Spock.
Oh, yes.
It's David.
Aged 9, I undertook my first ever acting role as Joseph in the school nativity, a performance described in my end-of-year report as world-weary.
Please, team.
Why did they describe it as world-weary?
I think perhaps I thought Joseph would be tired after the long journey with the donkey and the finding that, and perhaps I overdid the tiredness and I didn't get into the wonder, perhaps, to the extent that
Yes,
the
but I
piece
think acting
needed.
coaches would say, you know, you didn't go for the obvious thing of wonder.
Yeah.
Obviously, you had an instinct for this wonderful doubt that you must have felt. You know, how did this happen?
I don't know whether I understood that at that age.
Could you give us, perhaps, as a treat at Christmas, a little taste of the performance?
Yeah.
Just give us a soupçon. I have some stuff here that could help you. Let's see. You can be the three kings.
Oh, lovely.
OK.
Pass them along.
There, pass them along. Now then, imagine it was Joseph and Mary arriving. So why don't, Richard, you could be Mary.
Thank you, that's very kind.
There we are. Would you like to be a shepherd, Sir
I'd very
Tom?
much like to be a shepherd.
All right, you know what to do with it. Here's the baby. Now, remember, you've got to hide baby Jesus. He doesn't appear until later in the script.
Yeah, well, I think that's Mary's
I know
job.
exactly where to hide that.
Yeah.
Something for David. There we are. And then, Tom, would you mind holding the star as well?
Yeah.
I'll be Father Christmas as the innkeeper. All right. You haven't arrived yet.
No.
What, do you mean in my career?
Oh, no, that's been and gone. So...
I've literally just had a text from Sonia at my NCT class, and they've had the baby. All right. Look at me still.
Richard, I think you're getting the period a little bit wrong. In those days, no text, nothing like that.
I've just seen a star in the sky, and it's Sonia from my NCT group. And they've had the baby.
Oh, that's nice.
Boy.
Can you stop going on about Sonia?
Oh, but...
It's just, I'm sorry, I know you get on with her, but it's been a long journey.
Yeah, but that's because her husband Alan has already painted the nursery, and certain people haven't.
It's back to Homes Under the Hammer.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm very... you know, I found the whole thing very touching. But I haven't got any lines.
So, Tom, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm going to give you a line.
Tom,
I've got some here, so I know. That's
all right. You got something. All right, so get ready.
Yeah,
So, the baby's coming.
OK. Oh, look.
Oh.
And now a shepherd has appeared.
Yeah. I kick off every Christmas morning with a bowl of cornflakes and a sea of baby.
Well, there we are. Now, there's our performance. So, are you willing to believe that David was a world-weary Joseph at 9 years old?
Yes, definite for me.
True?
Yeah, he would have been a clever boy at 9-year-old. They would have asked him to be Joseph because he's got the gift of the gab.
And at 9, he did have a beard.
Yes.
It was harder for Richard to get the part of Mary because he was that height at 9.
Like, it's impossible for you to get the part of one of the wise men.
What are you going to say?
We will say it is a truth.
A truth. You're saying truth. David, truth or lie?
And it is a lie.
Oh. It was a lie. David didn't play a world-weary Joseph in his school nativity.
I have such a terrible singing voice that one year my teacher told me to mime during our school carol concert.
What was the song?
What was the song?
I don't know. I wasn't there.
It was a range of Christmas carols.
Oh, there was a few that you were bad at. You were bad, full stop. It wasn't just the one song.
Oh, no, I know you're right, Lee. I sung some of them like an angel. Oh, come all ye faithful, I just would scream the word shit.
So what did she say this in front of everybody?
No, I was sort of taken aside and said, look, you're finding this a bit difficult, aren't you? And it's putting some of the other boys off.
So, truth or lie? Time to decide.
It's kind of too obvious and too easy, so I don't know.
No, you're thinking of me.
It's a lie.
I think it could be just a lie.
I will say lie. The team says lie. We'll go with lie, yeah.
OK. David, truth or lie?
It is a lie.
It's a lie. David was not told to mime during his school carol concert because he has such a terrible singing voice. David's never been asked to keep quiet at school. Well, once. But out of respect for the gym teacher's career, we won't go into that.
As a child, I was scared of the sun.
What age?
I think this would probably be when I was 4, 5, 6, 7, that sort of age. When I was 4,567. I was still in my infancy as a god.
What was it about the sun that you found frightening?
It was looking at it.
Oh, yeah.
Did you just go out at night or something? You never went out during the day?
No, I did go out during the day, but I would sort of obsessively keep my eyes towards the ground.
Right.
The problem was that someone used the phrase, if you look at the sun, you will go blind.
Funny enough, exactly the same advice for me as well, but it was page 3 of The Sun. So you would still go out, but you would avoid it anyway.
And then, occasionally you sort of turn your head and the sun goes through your vision, and it can create that slight, when you blink, you can still see.
And you thought that was burning.
And I thought, right, well, what's that? Is that the beginning of the great eternal darkness?
Yeah. You really had a happy childhood, didn't you? Then?
We were all then on our rally grifters, and you were thinking about the eternal darkness.
Did anything else scare you as a child?
Oh, yes, most things.
What else scared you?
Well, the trouble is that some children are timorous and some children are reckless.
Yeah, I'm Sagittarius.
And in order... But in order to save the lives of reckless children, warnings are calibrated for their safety, the result of which is that the timorous live in a state of perpetual terror. What I needed to be told is, most days you won't die, it's fine. I wasn't ever going to tear across a 3-lane motorway.
Right.
The very existence of a 3-lane motorway in the same postcode as me made me not want to leave the house.
And presumably you would wait for about 3 weeks before swimming after a meal.
No, and having an ice cream in the afternoon and then thinking, right, well, I should probably not swim for the rest of the holiday. And then someone says, when I was an adult, you don't have to wait at all. It's all a myth. You can swim and eat. Did you?
While looking into the sun.
So what are we thinking?
Adam?
I'm thinking true fact.
I'm going truth.
So you're saying it's the truth?
Yeah.
Go on, we'll say it's true.
You're going to say that it's true. OK. David, truth or lie?
It is true.
It's a heartwarming story.
Yes, it's true. As a child, David was scared of the sun.
Stop! It's true! It's true! Move on! You don't even need to hear it.
This is my bare tablecloth. Customs officers once cut his head off and searched him for smuggled goods.
Can we see? Is there proof? Let me see.
As you can see.
Is there any way of telling?
There's some stitching there.
Oh, just tilt his chin up then so we can see the stitching.
Yeah, let's have a
Not
look.
too much, I'm going to upset him. All right.
Can we have a look at the burr?
Yes,
Do you want to see the stitches?
Throw him over it violently.
No, don't.
I couldn't possibly.
Come on, he's been decapitated. He's seen worse.
You can't throw the bear. That'd be a shame.
Thank you, Lorraine.
Sorry, I meant you to pass it to Rob. I've now, made you do the whole journey. Take the bear over there, please, Lorraine. It's in my contract. I never leave the desk.
David, just look at me. Right.
I didn't...
How's this making you feel?
That's really terrible. Isn't it awful?
That's how he feels.
Really is.
He's had his head cut off and his sting ripped up, but that's not possibly upsetting.
Dave, why did you call this bear Tablecloth?
Yes.
Because when I was very little, he had a little jacket made out of a tablecloth.
If this turns out to be a lie, you are a shameless little light entertainer.
Coming from you, Lee, that is a compliment.
Where was the customs? Where were we going from or to? Or?
We were going back from Minorca.
What did they say they were looking for?
I imagine it was a sort of a spot check.
Did you see them carving the head off? Was it happening in front of you on the table, on the...
No, I'm glad to say I was shielded from that moment. David, I'm going off this story.
You heartless bastard. Sorry, Tablecloth. What? Do it to him. Smash his face on.
Give me the bear. Oh, I'm taking the bear into care.
You're about to do an appeal.
Was there any reason why they didn't check the arms and legs?
Yeah. I don't know. I should have asked them to. I should have said, call that thorough.
What's that?
I've done this before.
What's that you say? You say it's time for Lee's team to take a guess? All right. What do you think?
Maybe he's in denial, and the truth is he, as an adult, was searched for drugs, and he's so traumatised by what they did to him.
Yeah.
He's had to create a teddy bear and put it all onto him.
Show us on the teddy bear what they did to the customer.
Show us on the teddy bear where they shoved their fist.
That's why the bear's hands are like that.
OK, we can say lie, are we, Sue?
I think so.
Lie.
I think
OK.
so.
I don't think I can argue
Lie.
with that. So lie.
OK, David.
Well, it is a lie.
Yes, it's a lie. David's teddy bear didn't have his head cut off by customs officers as they searched for smuggled goods.